So I do not want this video to be long. Today I thought I should do a detailed video of how I came to South Korea, because as all of you know, I'm currently in South Korea. This is my 3rd week in South Korea, and child, I'm happy. So I thought I should do a detailed video for you guys, for those of you who are interested, for those of you who are currently in the process of preparing to come to South Korea, or to go to China, or to come to Asia, you know, because the process is more or less the same between these countries. So I thought I should do that, because a lot of people have been sending me inboxes on my social media, and they are interested in how I came and what to do. So this is a video to watch if you are interested. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, the first thing that I did, I'm just going to be talking about my journey, and you can follow the steps that I followed. What's happening, devil? Not today. Okay, so I'm going to be looking down because I have some notes, child. I have some notes. So the first thing that I did, I started in April this year. And when this year started, 2019, I had no intentions, believe it or not. I had no intentions, zero intentions of leaving South Africa. But this opportunity just came, it just presented itself. I just had interest out of a sudden, you know, and I was like, well, you know what, let me do this. So in April, I gained, or should I say, I had this sudden interest of teaching English in Asia, you know, and at that time I wasn't specific on which country I was interested in. So I went on Facebook and I searched for South Africans in China and South Africans in South Korea. So I was reading people's posts, and I got inspired. As I was reading people's posts, I got so inspired. I was like, you know what, I'm doing this. Like, I remember it was early in the morning, I was on Facebook going through these posts on these groups, and I was like, you know what, I'm doing this. Like, I'm doing this. And so people were posting about different agencies they were using, and there's this girl, I even invited her on Facebook. We are friends on Facebook, and she mentioned her agency, and I just had an interest in her agency. I was like, you know what, okay, let me research this agency. So I researched this agency, and the name of the agency is Adventure Teaching. I will attach their logo picture somewhere here. So Adventure Teaching, and I went on their website, and I just remember going through their website, and I just fell in love with them. You know, I fell in love with how they explained the process, with how they explained everything. You know, their website was just well planned out. It just made me fall in love with them. I was like, you know what, okay, these are the people who are gonna take me to Asia, you know. So okay, immediately that very same morning I went on their website and I applied. You fill in an online application form. I think you also have to send a picture and your CV. So I filled in my form, I sent in my picture, I sent in my CV, and I was so excited, you know. I was so excited. I was like, I'm doing this, you know. And that's the other thing, you have to be excited, you have to be sure that this is what you want. So I think the following day on the website it said they're gonna reply within 2 days, and the following day I got an email. They were like, okay, we got your CV, we got your application, but can you please redo your CV? Because I did my CV the South African style. I'm gonna try and insert a picture of the format that I used. I did it the African style, you know, the South African style. And they were like, okay, we sent you an example of the format we would like you to use. Basically, it's just it's a shorter version, you know, because my CV, the one that I sent first, it was like 4 pages, and then the one that they wanted me to do, the format that I had to do, it had to be like 2 pages. So basically I just had to do that, and I redid my CV and I sent it back, and then they replied me within a week. They replied and they were like, okay, we looked through your CV and we are delighted to tell you that you've been accepted for an entrance interview. And I was excited, you guys. Mind you, your girl at that time, I did not have passport, I did not have police clearance, all those documents, you know, so I had to get those stuff like fast. I was like, okay, I need to go and apply for my passport, I need to go and apply for my police clearance, and I did those two things on the same day in April. So I did them. I remember I did them during that long weekend, Easter long weekend, Good Friday long weekend holiday. So I did my things during that time. So I applied for police clearance, I applied for a passport on the same day, and I was in Joburg. And so I told my agency, Adventure Teaching, I was like, okay, I just applied for my things, now I'm going to be waiting for my things. They were like, okay. So I had to select a date for the interview with the agency. I selected a date, and I remember my date was going to be 9 May. It was on a Thursday, I think. I'm good with dates, y'all. So 9 May, I had my cell phone interview with Adventure Teaching, and so it was a 10-minute interview. They just asked me, okay, what is your teaching style? Why do you want to go? At that time, I had chosen South Korea. I am so sorry if I'm rushing through. I do not want this video to be too long. So at that time, I had already decided that I wanted to go to South Korea. South Korea just, I don't know why I'm using hands. South Korea just spoke to me more. South Korea just spoke to me more. At first, I was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna go to China. But then, as I did my research, I was like, you know what, South Korea, it just spoke to me, you guys. So you need to make that decision, like which country speaks to you, which country do you see yourself living in these Asian countries, especially South Korea and China, because those are the countries that are big in this English teaching thing. So okay, so they asked me, what is your teaching style? Why did you choose South Korea? And yeah, and then they just explained everything to me. Okay, and then they asked me about my location preference, and then I gave them my location preference. I think I gave them 3 cities, and then that was it. And then within I did my interview on Thursday, and then on Monday I got an email. They were like, okay, good news, we've accepted you, so we are going to give you a placement coordinator who's going to be in communication with you. She's the one who's going to place you at a school. And so my placement coordinator contacted me, I think, in that week, and she was like, okay, she introduced herself, this is me, I'm going to be your placement coordinator, and she got me an interview towards the end of May with a school. She got me an interview, and then crazy thing happened. So we set the interview. I got an email in the morning, and then they were like, okay, tomorrow morning the school wants to interview you via Skype. So I was excited, obviously. But then the bad thing happened on that day. I decided to go to the mall to enjoy free Wi-Fi, you know, to do research on interviews, you know, like to watch YouTube videos, like on interview tips and all those things. Funny thing happened, girl. I lost my phone, girl or guy. I lost my phone. Mind you, I was bound to have my interview the following day. So I lost my phone. It was all crazy. I was all emotional. You know, so I had to postpone the interview. The interview then was set to be in the following week. And then the following weeks, my placement coordinator, she got the dates mixed up, and then I couldn't have my interview again. And then unfortunately the school decided to pull out. They're like, nope, they decided to interview someone else, I guess. So that was that, and I was disappointed. I was at my lowest. I don't want to lie, I was at my lowest. And then a month went by without hearing from my agency. Of course, we were emailing every now and then, and I was asking what's going on, like am I going to get another interview with another school? And then they were like, we're still looking for a school that's suitable for you, so please wait. I think I waited for more than a month, and I was, of course, at this time I was frustrated. I was like, oh my goodness, is this going to happen? Am I going to go to South Korea? Because you guys, at this point I had fallen so in love with South Korea. I was like, I want to go to South Korea, but it was just not happening. know, and I was so frustrated. I was praying day in and day night for God to do things, but things were just not happening. Okay, so, and then I think June went by, and then July I think I got an interview with an international school here in South Korea. They were like, okay, we are excited, we finally got a school for you. And then I got an interview, so I was going to interview the following day. Unfortunately, that interview didn't go well. They were like, unfortunately, the school decided to go with another candidate. So at this point, I was like, okay, maybe South Korea is just not for me. And then my placement coordinator, she was like, did you consider China at the beginning of this process? Like, maybe we can like look at China because China has more opportunities. I was like, okay, yeah, we can do China, because China was my first option, but my heart now, it was in South Korea. But I was like, you know what, let me just do China, you know, maybe I'm meant for China. So she was like, okay, I'm going to pass you to another placement coordinator who deals with China schools. So so I connected this other placement coordinator, and he was like, okay, I'm going to get you a good school in China. And he did, you guys. Within a day, he got me an interview with a great school in China. And as I was preparing like to respond to the interview invitation, my placement coordinator in South Korea contacts me. She's like, okay, there's a school that wants to work with you. They looked at your CV and they were impressed. They don't even want to interview you, they want you to come. I was like, God, like what? So I talked to the school director, principal, and everything is good. I was like, everything was just good. They were like, okay, we want you to come. There's a teacher who left suddenly, so we would like for you to come and replace that teacher. It's agent, you guys. It was agent. Of course, at this time my documents had been ready. I got my police clearance. My police clearance took about 6 weeks, and my passport took 4 weeks. No, my passport took about a week. I'm getting confused. And my documents were all ready, and I had apostilled and did everything that I needed to do. They were like, okay, we want you to come. So everything just happened fast. That very same day, they sent me a contract. I signed it, I sent it back, and I applied for my visa, and I left South Africa, you know. So that's my story of how I came to South Korea. Everything happened so fast. Towards the end, during the process, everything was so slow. I was frustrated, but then towards the end of the process, everything just happened so fast, and God showed me that he is faithful and he always knows what he's doing. So this video is getting long now. I didn't want it to be long, but yeah, I just wanted to come here and tell you guys how I came to South Korea and what you need to do if you want to come to South Korea. In the next video, which is going to be soon, I'm going to talk about the documentation, like how you can get your documents sorted out and what you need to do to get your documents fast. And yeah, man, come to South Korea, go to China, go to Japan, go to all these Asian countries. Go, guys. The opportunities are so amazing, the benefits are so great. Just living in another country is an experience that's worth taking. So yeah, I just wanted to come here and share that experience, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Follow me on my social media accounts. I'm going to leave them in the description box: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you can ask me questions, you can inbox me. Always available. I'm here to help if you need help. And with that being said, sorry for this video for being long. I didn't want it to be long, but anyway, catch you in the next one. Remember that you are loved, you are blessed, and you are beautiful. Bye.